Starting lesson.
Alright. Now we're gonna start on the lesson at hand, which we covered a little bit, about succubus, and I don't think the brother Ishmael wasn't here, but it was an emphasis on the fallen angels having large male penises. And in the scriptures, when you read about large male members, it's always in the negative tone, because it's not, it's not as the man of Adam have never, really been known for this. It's always been like the Hamites in their whoredom, and the daughters of Zion, they lusted after their male members, and they had issues of they had issues of horses, meaning they had, when they their semen, it was a lot, and but the point what I was reading yesterday, that was in the book of Enoch, it was about that these attributes are more so towards the fallen angel and their children, and not more so towards Zion. And if you do any research on the woman's vaginal cavity, is normally only about 5 or 6 inches. So anything outside of that, you're going into her cervix, and that's where the babies are housed. And and a lot of women talk about, you do research on that, people, because there's a thing like in, it's a perverse society, and you hear like, oh man, I want 10 inches or better, or something like that. But that's just Satan working his fallen angels and Nephilim seed to pervert people. And a lot of women say that caused them pain when they engage in that matter. So it's gonna be a sexual lesson. It's about succubus and pedophilia. Because the first pedophile was Lucifer. He went to Adam and Eve, in their child state, in their innocence, and he robbed them of their innocence. And it's a little, we're gonna go into some details on that. What happened in some things that happened in the garden. Okay, so we're gonna start in Genesis 3. Genesis chapter 3. Okay, Genesis chapter 3. Get my notes. Alright, Genesis chapter 3. This is how it started from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to touch on, go to verse 5, Genesis 3. Now, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not fruit of the tree. Just start at 2, matter of fact. Well, 1, just start 1 on down. Now the serpent was more subtile than any beast of the field which Yah had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath Yah said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yah had said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for Yah doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yah walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yah amongst the trees of the garden. And Yah called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. Just like you ever seen a movie? Some children, some teenagers are having sex in the house, and their parents messed around and came home, and they start, oh, we gotta hide. That's just basically something was going on in the garden. And in verse 10, and he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to me with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yah said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. They was playing the hot potato game. Adam had the hot potato, passed it to Eve, Eve passed it to Satan, the hot potato game. Okay, but the main point of this is 14. You got to listen to this very carefully, though. And Yah said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above all beasts of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, dust shalt thou eat all the day of thy life, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman, so stop at 15 real quick. Now we don't know the full aspect of what happened in the garden, but we can use some process of common sense and wisdom that we can acknowledge that one thing is sexual, because one of the curses was dealing with seed, sperm. So, and that's from your sexual organs. So, verse 16, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. What is conception? That's another matter that is an after effect of sexual acts. When a woman gets pregnant, how she gets pregnant? Between a man and a woman, and she takes the seed during the sexual act, and the seed goes to her egg, and the child is beginning to be brought forth. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. What's another thing? You can't be having Eve. You can no longer have wandering eyes. Your desire needs to be towards your husband, and you can't be looking at anything else. Your desire is supposed to be to your husband. Now we don't know the full details of what happened in there, but a lot of the judgments from Yah dealt with sexual organs, the sexual aspect of the body. So this is why not only did Satan molest the minds of Adam and Eve, it sounds like some other stuff was going on too, given the fact of the judgments. Because if you're a drunk driver and you go to a judge, the judge not going to send you to domestic abuse recovery. Judge going to send you to maybe an AA meeting or something of that nature. So that's the first start of it, and then we're going to go to 2 Samuel 13, talking about Susanna. 2 Samuel 13. Okay, 2 Samuel 13 and Susanna. There we go. And so again, this is going to be robbing of innocence and talking about succubus.
What verse?
We're going to go to. Let's go to verse 7. So the background, Tamara's brother, was playing sick, and he asked his father David to send his sister over to help him out. So verse 8. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour and kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Ammon said, "Have out of all man from me." And they went out, every man from him. So before he was about to do his evil, he asked everybody to leave the room. So it was just him and his sister in the room. And Amnon said unto Tamar, "Bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand." And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Ammon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, "Come, lie with me, my sister." So at first he tried to persuade her with his words. Verse 11. And when she had brought them up unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, "Come, lie with me, my sister." And she answered him, "Nay, my brother, do not force me." And that force 12 and 1 means humble me, because when you lie with a woman, it's called humbling her. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you get married to a woman scripturally, if she a virgin, it's called you humbled her. Okay, and that was force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly? And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her, and lay with her. Then Ammon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, "Arise, be gone." And she said unto him, There is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto me. Then he called his servants that ministered unto him, and said, Put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. And this is the main part. So he has raped her, robbed her of innocence and whatnot. And verse 18 is a key one. And she had a garment of diverse colors upon her, because the virgins in Zion, they showed their virginity. They would wear certain colors. They looking for a man too. They letting everybody know, hey, I'm a virgin. I haven't been humbled. I haven't had any interaction with nobody, etc. I'm pure. For with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparel. Then his servants brought her out and bolted the door after her. So the point about this, that he robbed her of her innocence. Now we're going to go to Leviticus 18. Leviticus 18. Okay. Leviticus chapter 18. And we're going to talk about a lot of these, because a lot of people that are engaging in this stuff, you know, it's close kin people who robbing children of their innocence, who robbing innocence and whatnot. All right, it's going to go one on down. And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am Yah your Abba, after the doing of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. See, and that's another thing about here, because in Romans, a lot of people get confused about that. They say, you know, you got to do the laws of the land because God told you that these people are ruling over you, so you got to listen to what they're saying and do it. But right here, it says clearly, whether I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall you walk in their ordinances. This land says, you know, abortion is okay, but the Most High say abortion is bad. So if they have an ordinance that goes against Yah, you're not supposed to be doing it. Verse 4, ye shall do my judgments and keep my ordinances to walk therein. I am Yah your Elohim. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am Yah. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. That's just what happened to Tamar in 2 Samuel 13. I am Yah. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even the nakedness there shall not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or the nakedness of thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness, meaning your family members. The nakedness of thy father's wife, daughters, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. And this is what Ammon did to his sister right here. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister, she is thy father's near kin woman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kin's woman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife, she is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law, she is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's kin's nakedness. So I'll stop right there. But the point is very clear about going in to family members or family members, married spouses. You know, it's an unclean act, and it produces a very unclean spirit in the atmosphere. It's one thing to be lust-filled in high school and looking at random girls, but it's one thing to be lust-filled looking at your sister or your mama looking at you and her children. You know, that's a whole different beast of demons in that household. You know, when y'all trying to have incest in your own house, that's a big demon right there. And when I was studying this and I was doing some research on this, one of the major genres of porn now is incest porn. It has gone up about 60% since around the early 2000s. So a lot of these porn companies are intentionally making incest porn, and these, these teenagers, these adults that are watching this stuff, they're being, now they got that spirit, that seed has been planted in their mind. Now the sisters are looking at their brothers, and the brothers are looking at their sisters. The fathers are looking at their daughters, etc., etc. And this is a very demonic time that we're living in, and it's only going to get worse. And when I was looking at the reports and the data of that, they said, man, this genre of porn has gone through the roof. Because they're promoting it so much, and they're paying the porn actors more money to do these scenes because they want to get that message out of there. And I don't know if y'all know this, but the people who run Hollywood and the porn industry are the Jewish people. They literally own Hollywood and the porn industry. So if this incest thing is going on that's being promoted and they own it, that means they're the children of the devil at the end of the day. So just wanted to point that out real quick. Now we're going to start talking about, so we talk about the nakedness, see nakedness of the family. Go to Deuteronomy 23:17. Cover on the in the man, and then we're going to go to the more spiritual succubus.
What did you say, 23?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 23:17. Okay, Deuteronomy 23 and 17. Okay. 23 and 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of Yah thy Abba for any vow, for even both these are abominations unto Yah. So now dealing with this, in Leviticus 18, when you start engaging in this incest, because a lot of this stuff, cause it just ain't got to be the immediate kin, like the father and the mother and brother. It can be a third cousin. Some of them third cousins, man, you get them along with some children, man, they be doing some unlawful acts and perverse things, because you don't know what they went through, and now they bring that same spirit on them around your children, around that group, and they showing them something. Hey, you want to see something? But once these children are going through this, they're being robbed of innocence, and this is all forms of pedophilia that is to rob the innocence of the child, so they can be this, just like it says in 17 and 18, because in order to make a whore, the whoremonger has to go through a process. It's just not one day you woke up as a whore unless you're a child of the devil. The normal aspect of abuse has to be rooted in the child's history, untreated trauma, and then the child has a perverse sense of sexuality, and now they're doing perverse things because they got that demon spirit on them, and that demon spirit is guiding them to be more perverse and to be a whore. And what is the consequence of being this? I read 17 and 18 again. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, and nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of Yah thy Elohim for any vow, for even both these are abomination unto Yah thy Abba. So this is making it surely clear that Yah is not down with whores and whoremongers. It's an abomination, and you're not even, just like in the New Testament it says, don't you know that when you are joined with a whore, you are one flesh? You know? So whoremonger is big things, but the root of this cause is the influences of Satan and the Nephilim and the fallen angels. So the next one is going to be, I guess we can go to Deuteronomy 22:25. 22:25 should be the next chapter over. This is about rape, you know. Deuteronomy 22:25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. So, again, this is all about rape. It's all about robbing of innocence. You know, it's a unique situation. You know, yes, healing can take place, but if we can avoid this even taking place, protecting the children, protecting brothers and sisters, and so on, educating them in the Word to give them understanding of what to look out for in people's spirits. Because if she, because this might have been a friend that, a quote unquote friend of the family that she knew, but she couldn't use wisdom to pick up on the signs that this person was displaying, and they got her alone, and they raped her and robbed her of the innocence, just like Tamar and her brother. So got that, and then we're probably gonna go to Daniel 12 and 1. Daniel 12 and 1. Daniel 12 and 1. Okay. Daniel 12 and 1. 12 and 1. You can skip that. You can skip that. Now we're gonna go skip that one and just go to Matthew. Chapter Matthew. Let me find the chapter. Gotta write it down. Millstone. Matthew 18 and 6. Okay. Now, these are now this is a unique situation that we're in. You know, it just, you know, again, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. So certain things, and you know, these bodies are, you know, a prison for us. You know, they're not really where we're supposed to be in, to be honest. And so wickedness has some leeway in this time, and certain things are possible to happen, even though, you know, they're pretty gruesome or whatnot. But nevertheless, judgment is still coming, and this is what it is. So why, you know, you need to be filled in Yah and pray for your children, pray for your family members, so perhaps they avoid these hardships like robbing of their innocence and having to deal with that and be healed from that. Verse 6, but whosoever shall offend one of the little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe unto the world. So verse 6 again. But whosoever shall offend one of the little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. It's a very strong tone here about people who, trying to pervert the little ones. And this is the same thing what God told Satan in Genesis 3. I'll read that just to refresh that. Where is it? No, Deuteronomy 3, Deuteronomy 3. I don't have to go there, but I know it's Genesis 3. Exodus. And he says in 14, and Yah said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And remember yesterday we was talking about the bulls. The bulls who, I know you wasn't here, Brother Ishmael, but we was talking about the fall, Satan and the fallen angels in the book of Enoch were depicted as great bulls, and the fallen angels were depicted with the large privy members. And right here, and you input that precept with this right here, and it says, and Yah said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou shalt be cursed above all cattle. And remember that the fallen angels and Lucifer were considered bulls, and above every beast of the field. Remember we were talking about the wild asses, the donkeys, etc., the other nations and whatnot, the Nephilim nations, the elephants, the camels. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. So this whole thing about robbing children of their innocence is a huge thing with Yah, and that's why Lucifer was. Now we think Lucifer wasn't that cursed, but Lucifer was cursed pretty bad, and that's why I said you the lowest of all, you the lowest of everything. And that's how child molesters are looked at in this society today. Murderers have a better response than a child molester. To be honest, that's the lowest thing you can do is molest a child. Okay. All right, now we got that one, and we're gonna start getting on the succubus tone, on the spiritual aspect of it. So, Proverbs 7. Now we're gonna start. So we got it from the flesh aspect of the interactions between man and women, how that spirit can dwell amongst. And now we're gonna start dealing with the succubus spirit itself. Proverbs 7. You're gonna start 1 on down. Okay. Now many times we read this and we just think this is some loose woman in Proverbs 7 that she a nymphomaniac or something. She's got an unsatiable appetite. But we gotta listen to what the word is saying in here and how it's describing this woman in Proverbs 7. Okay, and Proverbs 7:1. My son, keep my words and lay upon my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. And we're going to see this is a deep point when you start dealing with this succubus. Because remember yesterday I was telling y'all the succubus wants to suck your energy, want everything from you, And this is why it says, keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye. Because when you're dealing with these demonic forces of the succubus, you're dealing with somebody who is attractive and who has mastered the art of sexual acts, mastered. You know what I'm saying? And you really have to be strong to deal with this type of demon, because who doesn't like sex? Who doesn't like a good meal? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to be very careful with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, the law has to be, before you filter everything through the law, and if you do that, that succubus spirit and demon ain't going to be able to work through you. But if you're not doing that, the succubus will eat you. And I mean that literally. That succubus will eat your life force. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the tables of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call unto thy kinswoman, and call understanding thy kinswoman. So these are the women that you want around your wife, because these feminine aspects are going to protect you from that succubus spirit. And the succubus is a woman. That they may keep thee from the strange woman, the succubus woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words. She put the lip gloss on. She got banaka, what do they call that? You know, she got some, yeah, everything. She, and that's another thing. When I was researching the succubus, one common thing was with them that they smelled sweet. You know, and a lot of these women, you know, be putting that body spray, that sweet spray. I mean, what is that sweet smell? You know, I done smelled that a lot of times. It wasn't enticing. It didn't entice me, but I smelled that. You know, a lot of these whores, they like to adorn themselves with this fragrance, pulling your smell that's in your nose right now, just pulling you over, pulling you over. She about to eat you. Okay. For at the window of my house, I looked through my casement, and behold, among the simple ones, the ones who are lacking in the law, statutes, and commandments, who are not going to the word, and we can look at that as the churches, as the normal churches. And I behold, among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths. Not only is this a simple one, but this is a child in their youth, a young man void of understanding. And in verse 4 it says, call understanding thy kinswoman. He doesn't understand who the people who he needs to be around. Verse 8, passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. What was he simple about? Man, all my friends go to the whores. You know, my dad even go to the whores every now and then. You know, shoot, I know some women that pay for prostitutes with their husbands. And since he's simple, he's not realizing the dead people went to the whores, and your family members are dead, and they're promoting you to be robbed of your innocence by going to the whores. Okay? Because he's going to her house at 9, in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and darkness night. Anything that's gone in the darkness is more so, you know, that's suspect. Verse 10, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot. And we got to remember that, a harlot. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too. Who is the mother of harlots? So we got harlot here. And subtile of heart, and that subtile means 10-1, crafty. Succubus are crafty. They see you coming from a mile away. They know what you probably like. They probably got everything set up for you and set up for you to destroy you. Verse 11, she is loud and she is stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. A lot of these women who go to the clubs got this succubus spirits. They loud, they stubborn, just trifling women. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. Look at this. You got to understand this. She's looking for something that you got. Now, I'm going to touch on this in a little bit too. Nothing that this woman has, a Proverbs 31 woman can't give you. In righteousness, she can give you some perverseness, you know, a lot of perverseness, but a Proverbs woman, 31 woman can fulfill your needs in the bed undefiled, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be wild. Well, I don't have to go to this succubus whore. I can just go to the Proverbs 31 woman. Because it's...
You ain't just go to them. You need to You denying the word of allegations.
I mean, marry go to them. I don't mean like, hey, let's go have sex. I mean like, go to a Proverbs 31 woman in marriage, the bed undefiled. Yeah. You about to whore her out. She about to be a succubus soon. You know what I'm saying? Now is she without, now in the streets, and she lied in wait at every corner. Why does she lie? Why does she does this? Why is she doing all this preparation to get you over? Because she has something that she needs from you. She don't have nothing that you need from her. She needs your life force. She caught him. What? She caught him. She set the traps to capture him like prey. And what does a hyena do when they capture their prey? They eat them. This is a killer on the prowl to eat you. This ain't no joke. No sound man would go into a yard full of wild dogs and they wouldn't even stick their hand in it. Why? Because the dog's gonna bite you and they're gonna eat you. If they catch you down, once they get you down, they're gonna start eating you. Nobody gonna do that. And this is why the wisdom and understanding come into play when you gotta look out for these whores, these succubus whores. And you got to call them out there. It's one thing, no, you're a promiscuous woman. No, you're a whore. It gives a whole different mind. It shakes you up. It's like a drunk person almost being in a crash. A lot of times, from my understanding and researching this, a sudden drastic change will wake even a drunk person up. They get swerving. They go, whoa! It's a shock. That's why you gotta, use certain things. This is not that's not a godly woman. No, that's a whore. It shakes you up, 13. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, and that's when you gotta understand the succubus. The succubus ain't no joke where this being does not have power. This being, you gotta understand, demons have something that's called telekinesis. This woman up in your mind, whispering into your ears, programming you again. She hit you with the kiss. She put energy on you in your spirit, beguiling you. And you're too weak. You think she really likes you. Yeah, she likes you. She likes the taste of you. Because she's about to eat you. I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore come I forth to meet thee, delightly to seek thy face, and have found thee. Man, when you really think about, a meal, think about the best restaurant you ever been to. Man, I'm so glad I found this restaurant. Oh, the food here is delicious. The young, youthful adolescents who don't know no better, ooh, they're my favorite. I love eating them. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, delightly to seek thy face, and I have found thee. So she didn't found the treasure. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with covered works, with fine linen of Egypt. And we know what happened in Egypt, how they was getting down, because the scriptures say in Deuteronomy, or there was Leviticus, don't continue what you learned in Egypt, because they were doing all type of blasphemous sins in Egypt. So that's why the Most High say, when you go out of there, don't take none of that stuff with you. Verse 17, I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamons. Come, let us take our full of love until the morning, least let us solace, and solace means 18:1, delight ourselves with love. And they mean lust. Let's delight. See, when you put, hey man, oh man, we just making love. No, you're making fornication. You're making lust. When you use appropriate words to certain situations, oh, I just picked your pocket. You're a thief. You stole. It has a different vibration when you say certain words. Okay? Verse 19, for the good man is not at home. He is gone a long journey. Who's that good man? We talking about a succubus here. We talking about Yahusha. That man is gone. Remember, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked for a time, and that good man is gone. You know what? That's why the scriptures are a mystery. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of stuff. I get what you're saying, but the good man for this time, for this type of woman to live, that good man going is Yahusha. Alright, I'm gonna let you do your hoard. I'll be back soon. I'll be back. When I come back, it's going down. Is not at home, he is gone a long journey. He hath taken a bag of money with him, and will come home at a day appointed. Isn't that more sounding like Yahusha coming? The day appointed. And what he want when he come back? When he come back, he want his talents, his money. He want usury. I gave you your talent with my usury. He got that bag of money. 21. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. Woo! With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. And that 21:2 means, 21 and 2 means, as a dog to bound. She put him on a chain. And a lot of things, if you do, this ain't, I don't suggest everybody research succubus. You know, this is some real dark stuff here. You know, you gotta be very strong in the spirit to deal with this type of stuff. You know, these are some strange stuff. And a lot of times when the succubus overtake a man, they get into this thing, dominatrix, where they be walking a man like a dog on the thing, and you think you looking at that woman like she just, oh, that's just a woman. They got a weird relationship. No, that's a succubus walking that man. You're seeing the flesh, but the spirit, straight demon. And that's why she want to take, and that's how Satan want to do to these men. He's walking as a dog. She forced him. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart striketh through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. Because all she wants to do is suck you dry and kill you. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not mine heart decline unto her ways. Go not astray into her paths, for she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Solomon, King David, Adam, who else? The other brother, Samson. Many strong men have been slain by this woman. And you know what? After you get slain, she's going to sit there, lick her lips, and go to the next. Because you were just a meal. All you can eat, golden corral. That's how it is, man. That's what the succubus got right now. The succubus got all you can eat. Yesterday when I went to Walmart, because I'm studying this lesson, I was just there just seeing all these women just complete whores. And I'm looking at these men just looking at them. Like, man, she's going to eat you, you idiot. She's going to eat you. I rarely hear about a successful marriage. The most times when men give their expression about the relationship they had is always 80% plus bad. The women, she took everything from me. She cheated on me. She did this to me. Because you're not understanding, you're dealing with demonic forces that this woman is either a succubus or something is on her spirit to turn her into a whore. Okay? And the last one about this one is 27. Her house is the way to hell, Shaul, going down to the chambers of death. Ain't no normal whore doing this stuff. A normal whore, got a whoredom spirit. Only a succubus taking you to hell. She taking you to hell. She know how to get there. She know the back doorway. She know how to get to hell, and she gonna take you there. Okay. The next one is going to go to. We're gonna touch on some videos too in a little bit. We're gonna go to Revelations 17 and 5. 17 and 5. Because about a month ago when I did that lesson about gardening, and we was talking about seeds as well, and Yah was telling them, hey man, don't plant your seed in every field. And these women, these demons, these tares, a lot of times, man, these men are being beguiled by these whores, and they're planting semen in demons. And just like I was telling y'all yesterday about the scripture in 2nd Esdras, in the last days, mischievous women will bring forth monsters. You're putting your seed, the light, into that woman, and she's bringing forth a monster. Because you're having sex with a demon. It's getting real spiritual stuff. I mean, and they want that seed because that's the only way. Yah is the only one who can create life. That's it. And Yah put it in the man, his children, the man, to have that power to create life. Satan can't do that. They shooting blanks. The males of Satan, the whoremongers of Satan, they ain't got no sperm to be creating. If they did, they would have done it already. All right, this is Revelations 17 and 5. Revelation 17 and 5. Matter of fact, just read 1 to 5. And there came, 17, 1 to 5. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore. This is the big thing that I'm not seeing a lot of people really emphasize on. A lot of people worry about white men, a lot of people worry about just people, race wars, and all this stuff. And while this whore sits in the background doing her dirt and everybody doing her bidding, the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, this is the main enemy right here. Not everybody else is just a scapegoat. A scapegoat. Yeah. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornications, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. It's very deep that you don't see in here that, this being has destroyed the planet and nations with war and just going around and being messy and killing people and doing all this stuff. This being destroyed the earth with fornication. That's the big thing. This is why in Genesis 3, Yah called Satan, you the lowest of all, because what Satan did to Eve and Adam, on top of some other things, was some sexual matters in there. And this is why the curses were geared towards, a lot of the curses were geared towards the sexual organs. The inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colors, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Isn't this Ezekiel 28? Ezekiel 28 say Lucifer was adorned in precious stones, gold, and all that stuff, diamonds, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. Of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay? Look at that. A lot of people be like, oh, man have destroyed this planet with wars and all that. No, it's whoredom. The worst thing that happened, what was worse than the World War II was the feminist movement. They destroyed the world. Before the feminist movement, the world wasn't the best pleasant place, but the world had more morals. They were more caring. After the feminist movement, all the gates of hell was open. Women walking around with no they ain't gotta wear bras, you know what I'm saying? But they just flaunting their breasts. Don't touch, don't stare at me. Taking off their shirt, walking around naked, and these same women had children. They taught their children this perverse whoredom. Them perverse children was taught in this, and then the entertainment industry is raising these children because an independent woman, she ain't staying home and raising nobody. She about to go in the job and be the manager and rule over the man because she's not. They don't want equal quality. They want power. They're drunk with power. And a lot of these women, I guarantee you, are tares. A lot of the women who started this stuff are walking hand in hand with Satan, and they're tares. Okay, now we're going to go to Revelations 9 and 2. 9 and 2. Revelations 9 and 2. And when we was talking about the sex demons, and we're gonna talk more about that in more detail too. These sex demons, these succubus demons, these tear women, they're taking the seed of the man. One must ponder, like, what are you doing with these seeds? You know, like all these spiritual engagements, the sexual acts. They're here for some reason, and they're creating children. And when I was reading, y'all put this on my spirit. I'm started at 1. Matter of fact, Revelations 9 and 1. And it took a lot of fornication to do this, and a lot of the seed of man to do this. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven, from the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, and the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and upon them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. These people were empowered by fornication. These locusts that are coming out of the bottomless pit are the result of millennials of fornicating with succubus spirits. These, you gotta be spiritual about this. Satan cannot create anything. Satan can take what Yah has made in his perfectness and use that to make what Satan wants. And Satan made these children of the devil with fornication. This is why Satan wants you to fornicate, masturbate, watch porn, do all this stuff, engage in immoral sexual acts, because all this stuff is breeding the army of hell to come out upon the earth for the 7-year tribulation. Okay, and that's that. Now we're going to go to Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6. Before we go on to the further points, Ephesians 6.